Howdy y'all, I hope you guys are all doing well, I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are healthy. So today's video was actually brought about by, I guess, the more recent news of Jerry Lorenzo, Fear of God designer Jerry Lorenzo, moving from partnering with Nike to Adidas. Now, I don't really care that much all about Fear of God or Jerry Lorenzo's clothing anymore, but I think it actually does say a lot for like kind of the whole fashion industry in going into 2021, and I think it's a super fascinating case study to actually take a look at and just have a conversation about. But before I get to that, I actually want to talk about a little bit of a channel update. So basically, ever since starting YouTube, I've wanted to try and make a video every week to try and stay as consistent as possible, pumping out as much content as I possibly can. But unfortunately, I'm simply getting a whole lot busier. My job's a little bit more demanding than I had expected. It's kind of really taking a toll on me and my free time. I absolutely love making videos for you guys, and I really don't want to stop. I don't want to take a break. I don't want to take a hiatus, because this is really what kind of keeps me sane, talking about clothing with you all. And so instead of just trying to take a break, a mental break for myself, I want to just kind of slow down the uploads to once every 2 weeks so that I can allow myself the time to kind of refine my ideas, record, edit, kind of do everything that I need to do to make sure that I make videos that I'm proud of. So I hope you guys understand, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around. And also really quick, we also just passed 1,500 subscribers, and that is absolutely amazing. The channel is growing at an absolutely amazing rate, so thank you guys for that. But let's get right into the video. So, as per always, I have my notes right next to me just to help me out a little bit. This is more of a discussion type of video, so if you guys want to have some sort of discussion, feel free to put it in the comments down below, discuss amongst yourselves. I urge you to be as civil as possible, or if you want to talk to me directly, feel free to shoot me a DM and we can chat. So, needless to say, designers are integral to the success of a clothing or footwear brand. This video really isn't going to be a business-centered video, but more so a video speaking about designers themselves and their relationships with bigger companies if they do decide to collaborate with bigger companies. So to summarize what is probably a very complicated relationship, Nike and Jerry Lorenzo simply didn't see eye to eye. I actually don't know a lot of the details about their whole relationship, but there is a video out there if you want to talk specifically about this particular instance on Paul Fuentebella's channel. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He is the Fear of God expert, and if you go over to his channel, he has a whole video talking about the specifics of Nike and Jerry Lorenzo and his thoughts on going to Adidas are. So definitely shout out to Paul. A pretty big truth in the whole industry of fashion itself is as companies get larger, it's harder to retain the primary focus on design. Money needs to be made, and profit and publicity take higher priority than the clothing being made. So whenever individual designers or smaller designers decide to partner up with larger companies like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, really whatever, there are a lot of problems that end up coming up. These designers tend to be known for a certain style, a certain aesthetic, a certain way of dress, and once they kind of meld that with a larger company, then things start to get tricky. Things like creative differences, sourcing of the proper materials, quality issues, cost of production in relation to profit margins, all those issues are definitely things that are super common when a designer partners with a larger company. In the case of Jerry Lorenzo with Nike, it seems to me, and this is just all opinion, none of this is fact, but it seems to me that Nike made the same mistake they did with Kanye West. So if you guys don't know, Kanye West with Nike making his first Yeezys, like Yeezy branded shoes, Kanye was rather upset and was not happy with the amount of control that Nike had over what he was designing. He wanted to do so much more, yet Nike did not want to give him that creative freedom to create whatever he wanted to. In that space of like, I think it was 2014 to 2015 maybe. I'm not entirely sure about the time framing, but Adidas was able to kind of capitalize on that and pick up Kanye West so that they could kind of profit from him, because they offered him something that Nike didn't at the time. And it has actually seemed to work amazingly. Adidas and Yeezy partnership has been very, very long-standing, and honestly, it's, as far as business goes, been doing amazingly for them. They constantly sell out. Despite increasing the numbers in production, they always will sell out at retail, essentially. Nike seems to be, at times, seemed to be too timid to allow full creative control, which led to a more constricted workspace in which Kanye or Jerry had to work within, and that's not where designers thrive. Designers themselves are people who create, and if you limit that space of that where they can create, whose idea are you actually trying to execute? Is it the big companies or is it the designer? And that often comes into play, and that's why a lot of designers don't play very well with partnering with big companies. Another really recent instance where a designer was brought in to design something and that ended up sour was JW Anderson and Converse. Fun fact, if you didn't know, Nike actually owns Converse now, so I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of in the same vein, but JW Anderson, the head designer and founder Jonathan Anderson, actually designed a shoe for Converse, which was the Runstar hike sneaker. That came out a couple of years back, I'm not entirely sure, but it was kind of like a Converse that had a little bit of a platform to it. But where it kind of gets all interesting is that Nike decided to drop JW Anderson, which isn't a problem, it happens all the time. Dropping a designer is not unheard of. What was interesting to see though was that even after they dropped Jonathan Anderson as a contributing designer, they continued to use his model of a shoe, which I think brings up such an interesting ethical question. Who then has ownership of that silhouette? Is it Jonathan Anderson for designing it, or is it Nike and Converse for producing it? Let me know what you guys think. It is super fascinating because it is one of the rare occasions where, I guess it's not that rare, but a business perspective is different from a more artistic perspective. I think that is a rather underhanded way to go about the whole situation, and a nice firm slap in the face to Jonathan Anderson himself. But then again, Converse is huge. Converse and Nike in partnership are huge. So who really would care when the general population who's buying their products will buy them anyway? So a lot of times these large companies can make mistakes and it really isn't a big deal to them, because the little quote unquote little designers that they partner up with have, I guess, minor impact on them as a whole. If anything, partnering with a designer is more beneficial not only in product, but more so in publicity. So those aren't the only example of larger companies kind of screwing over individualized designers. However, it doesn't matter how often it happens. What I want to emphasize is that designers and consumers alike should keep their eyes peeled and not only look at the exciting news of a new collaboration, but also hope that the corporate entities allow them the freedom to create whatever they need to create. Because the more limited the designer is, probably their designs with that company aren't going to be that good. It is really easy to get caught up in the brand new and fresh news of like, hey, this collaboration is happening, but underneath the surface, you definitely want to question, is everything that needs to happen happening for the designer to be able to execute their, I guess, more creative side? So what is very necessary for companies to have long-standing relationships with designer is a synergistic, and by that I mean mutually beneficial relationship, and that's ideal, but it's also extremely rare. Now, it's actually completely different when we talk about designers being heads and creative directors of luxury brands, like Virgil Abloh going to a creative director of Louis Vuitton, or Kim Jones being creative director of Dior. In those situations, these large fashion houses are allowing these designers creative director position, so they have the most freedom to do whatever they need to do, to execute whatever they need to execute, and just do good by the luxury house. So they are given the most freedom. But when it comes to things like Nike, Adidas, sportswear companies, and companies that already have a pretty well established product base, I guess you could say, those companies are going to be the most restricting on individual designers, because their reputations don't lie within unique design, they lie within the household name that they are for being what they are. If I could suggest really anything to you guys, I would very highly suggest, if you want to support individual designers, certainly purchase from their mainline brands if you can, if that's within the budget, or supporting them directly by purchasing their products that they produce. I think that's really all I have to say about this topic, to be honest with you. I really love talking about this type of thing because it kind of gets the cogs working, it kind of gets the blood flowing in the brain, and gets conversations started. Alright, I appreciate you guys, I appreciate your time. I'm sorry that I'm going to have to be slowing uploads, but I do hope that I can keep up the quality of content, or if not, improve it to be even better in the future. So, again, from now on, every 2 weeks for me. Thank you guys so much, I really appreciate you guys. And until the next video, I'll catch you guys later.